Hi everyone, welcome back to Satbo Reads Books. Who's Satbo? That's me, and I talk books. I'm back, not that I went anywhere. To be honest, I didn't upload a video last week because this week in the UK, schools went back, so that means I had to go back to work, even though technically I've been working this whole time because we've been working from home, but we have to go back into schools like physically and teach face to face. So last week I was just preparing for that, and we've done our first kind of half week. So yeah, it's been good. It's nice to be back and actually see my students' faces again, but I have been so knackered. So I was like, do you know what, let me just come on here and do a quick video on the books that I read in February, because I've been meaning to do this wrap up video, but obviously like I have been so tired. I'm so tired. I'm just like, I feel like an old person. Like I'm only 25, but working from home and lockdown and all of this stuff has just got me like, I'm just tired all the time. Like this week when I came home from work, I literally fell asleep at like 5:30 p.m. Last night I was in bed by like 9, and it's fun, I guess, just being so tired. But yes, I'm here today with my February wrap up. I think a lot of the books, well, in February in February I read a lot of different books, completely different genres. I actually tried my hand at a non-fiction book, so I listened to some audiobooks, physical ebooks, ARCs. Like there's so many different books, so this video might be quite long, so I'll just be putting their images on screen because I don't know which ones I read in the like physically or like ebook. So yeah, what I tend to do is, this is not a sponsored post, but listen, if you see me, sponsor me because I want sponsorships. I record everything I read in my passion planner. Passion planner is brilliant for getting me organized, because I absolutely love like stationery and I love being organized. So what I kind of use my passion planner for, obviously it's a year planner. So this is my 2021 planner. See my beautiful, like, I forgot the word for these, yikes, I can't remember, but I have these thingies that's what I'm gonna call them, thingies that stick out on the side, which are sold separately to my passion planner. It's a weekly view planner, so I use it to plan my week. If I have stuff on this week, I haven't really been using it to plan stuff, but I also use it as like a journal as well. So I have pictures that I'll put in there. So what I've challenged myself to do is record like every single book that I'm reading this year as well. So it's how I keep a record of what books I've read and so forth. So this is what I'm gonna be looking at it whilst I'm like doing this video, because I don't remember all of it and my phone is charging somewhere, so I don't want to look at Goodreads. So I literally have a page here where I put down the books that I've read in January, February, and then March is to be done. So in February I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I read 15 books. 15 books in February. That's crazy. 15 books. I can't believe that. Did I really read? Let me recap that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I read 15 books. Wow. I read 15 books in February. So yes, let's go for the first one. Let's get into the video. The first book that I read in February, so if you see me looking down, it's because I'm actually looking at my planner to like record. The first book I read was a graphic novel. It's not out yet. I can't remember when it's out. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was a graphic novel called 2 Week Wait, an IVF story by Luke and Kelly Jackson and Mara Wild. I gave this a 4 out of 5. It's basically just a short tale following a couple who are trying to do IVF. So yeah, I thought it was interesting because I don't know, I feel like it's not something that's really spoken about often, because obviously when people have children you just assume that it happened naturally, but some people actually have a really difficult journey trying to have kids. So it was an interesting insight into the journey, like seeing the emotional highs and lows. And yeah, it was a really lovely story. Like the colors were really beautiful. Like it was like a pastel kind of like blue peachy colors, and I really like the illustrations in the book, so that was really good book. Next book I read was We Are All Birds of Uganda by Hafsa Zayan, and I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. So essentially, you have to forgive me if I can't remember like the storylines, but we follow 2 characters in the book. Can't remember the main character's name, which is very annoying, but we follow like a young Asian man, and so there's 2 like timelines. So one is the young Asian man who's living in London. He's a high-flying lawyer, got the money and all of that stuff. His family lives out in Leicester, and we follow letters as well. So the second perspective is his grandfather writing letters to his late wife. So we kind of see how they kind of merge, like their timelines kind of merge somehow. So yeah, the main character feels lost, confused, like he doesn't want to do his job anymore. He's unsure of where he's going, so he decides to take a trip back to Uganda. So we kind of follow his journey there, like, and stuff like that. Hafsa, this is her debut novel. It was she was the first Merky Prize New Writers competition winner, so it was really cool to like just to read the book. The book is already out, so you can get that if you want, but it was okay. I mean, it was an okay novel. There wasn't, I just wish we focused more on the young man rather than his grandfather, because there's a lot of things that kind of made me feel uncomfortable in his letters, because the grandfather was, so the book talks about South Asian immigration from obviously Asia to Uganda, and then from Uganda to the UK. So we kind of see some racist attitudes from the grandfather in the book towards Africans. So I'm just like, it's a bit uncomfortable, but it's not just about that as well. But I guess it's kind of realistic, because obviously there was tensions in Uganda and East Africa between the Africans and the Asians that migrated there. Some of them were born there, do you know what I mean? So it was an interesting insight, because that's something I've never looked into, because my family are from West Africa, so I don't think we have that kind of thing in West Africa. So it's interesting. So it was like something that I would love to look into more and research, and the book is great because it gives you like resources that you can go and research what happened back then. So that was really cool. Third book, Delicate by Brenna Thumler. I gave this a 4 out of 5, which it was really good. It was a graphic novel arc that I got. Delicate is a good book. Yeah, it also follows this young woman, another young woman, who's kind of seen as weird, odd, because she thinks ghosts exist, but everyone else is like, no, ghosts don't exist. So the young woman, this will be better if I remember their names, but I can't because it's been so long since I read the book. So the young woman who has a friend that has the ghost friend befriends the other weird young woman, and we kind of see mental health has an impact on young women. They are, the kids in the story are quite young. I'm guessing they're like 14, 15, 16. So we get to see how mental health impacts young women and how friendship can help with that. So that was a lovely story. Next book, again, this was an arc that I got, Those Not So Sweet Boys by Yoko Noguri. I gave that a 4 out of 5, but I can't for the life of me remember the story, which is pretty bad. Yikes. But I do recommend it, I think, because I really enjoyed it. So that was a manga that I really liked. And then the non-fiction book that I read this in February, The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a F***. by Sarah Knight, and I gave that a 3 out of 5. This book, I also listened to it. So I had the paperback copy and I have the audiobook as well. So when I was reading it, I was following along with the audiobook as well. And this book is so funny to me because the amount of times she says yeah, is hilarious. And then there are some good gems in there to help you to genuinely not give about what people think and stuff like that. But it was kind of overall poorly written, and I feel like she kind of depended on the fact that she was using the word so yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it's fun to listen to on audiobook, and it's quite a short book as well, so it only took I think it's about a 3-hour read, or yeah, 3-hour listen, sorry. So yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Like, it's so funny, but good. I guess there's some pointers that I will take from that, and if I do find myself given some then I guess I'll pick it back up and just skim through it. Next book I read this with my book club. I read The Widow by Fiona Barton, and I gave this a 2 out of 5. This book basically follows a woman whose husband passed away. So he was also a suspected paedophile, and he kidnapped a young girl. Or we think he kidnapped a young girl, but he did. So we kind of see like what happens with the widow and how journalists are trying to get her story, so her side of the story, about what happened, and did she know the whole time, and blah blah blah. And meanwhile they still haven't located the body, so we're kind of seeing there's 2 timelines. So seeing when the case actually happened, and then later. So when the case happened, the man wasn't convicted, he wasn't arrested or taken to prison, he wasn't found guilty or anything like that. So later, obviously, a few years later, when he dies, obviously the case comes back up, and it's solved. The reason why I gave it a 2 out of 5 is because it was very predictable. Like, me and my book club, like, we just predicted the ending right away, and there was no plot twist to make it spicy. So it's just like, what's the point? What was the point? Like, she proper took us, the author does a good job of trying to distract you by using different characters, making you think like, oh, okay, maybe it could be this character, maybe it could be that character, he's quite dodgy, he's quite shifty. But it turns out it was the character you knew it was the whole time. So it's just like, well, what's the point? Like, if it's a thriller, take me on a ride. Like, take me on a ride. I want to be screaming, I want to be gasping, I want to be like making noise. But at the end I was just like, oh, is this it? Okay. So that was a 2 out of 5. This book, the next book, I absolutely love. Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. 5 out of 5, period. 5 out of 5, like 5 out of 5. Yeah, I love a romance. Like, I love the Brown Sisters series. The last one that I haven't read yet is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. That's the one that I haven't read. So I've read Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I just haven't read Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And honestly, when I say mwah, like the book is fantastic. It was an arc, but the book is out now. It's a brilliant book. I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. So yeah, I'll probably do a video on like my thoughts on each individual book when I've read Chloe's one. But I highly recommend Eve Brown's book as well. So yeah, go for it. Next one I read was Greenwich Park by Catherine Faulkner, and I gave that 4 out of 5 as well. Is that out yet? I don't know. I think it's out in April. That was another arc that I read, and I picked it up because Greenwich Park, like, I love Greenwich Park and I live quite close to it. So I was like, ooh, a thriller happening in Greenwich Park. Like, let's see what's happening, because nothing happens in Greenwich Park. So I literally drive past it every day to go to work. So I love, like, a thriller that's quite local to me is exciting. It makes it even more exciting, do you know what I mean? Like, because I can actually visualize the areas that it takes place in. It's a fantastic book. We've got a pregnant woman, Helen. Wow, I actually remembered the character's name. Fantastic. Her name is Helen, and then there's this, she's pregnant. I don't know if I've mentioned that already, but she's pregnant. She meets a woman at NCT class, so an antenatal class, prenatal, whatever, I don't know what the correct word is. She meets a woman there, and the woman starts to stalk her, and it's just like, whoa, what is going on? Apparently there's a connection between that strange woman and Helen's brother, sister-in-law. So we're trying to find out, why is this strange woman interested in Helen? Like, why is she following her around? Random woman just asked to come and stay at her house for like a couple of weeks. They don't even know each other. Like, what the f going on? Like, that kind of stuff is good. Like, it was a great thriller. There was so many plot twists towards the end. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? So I highly recommend reading Greenwich Park. Really, really good thriller. Took me for a ride. I was screaming, I was gasping, I was hollering, like, compared to some other thrillers that I read this month. But yeah, it's a good book. I recommend it. I also read Saga Volume 1 and 2. So the first 2 volumes. I gave them a 4 out of 5. So I have Kindle Unlimited. Amazon should sponsor me at this point. So but yeah, I highly recommend getting Kindle Unlimited. If you do have a Kindle, it allows you to borrow up to 10 books, and you have a wide range of books you can read for a certain price every month. I think it's like £8 every month, and you can read a lot of, like, they have so many books on offer. So there's a few books that I've read in February and I'm reading now that I borrow off Kindle Unlimited, and right now I'm doing a free trial with them, so I'm gonna see. But I think it's definitely worth paying that £8 every month for, because £8 is like the price of like 1 or 2 Kindle books, or 8 if you like to budget like me with 99p deals. But yeah, Saga Volume 1 and 2, fantastic story, absolutely fantastic. Like, this is a graphic novel. Again, reading it on my Kindle Fire, the colour, the illustrations, the story is brilliant, fantastic. So I was just like, do you know what, I'm gonna wait till payday and probably get the whole like volume. No, not the volume. There's a, I can't even say this word, compendium, I don't know. Like, there's a whole book that has like all of the volumes in it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get that when I get paid, because the story's brilliant. We've got 2, so it's set like in a, what can I say, different universe. There's 2, it's like a Romeo and Juliet type of thing. There's 2 rival planets that have been at war with each other. A female from one planet falls in love with a male from another planet. They have a kid, and now both planets are trying to kill them both and kill the child, or not kill the child but take the child alive, and they're running away from both planets. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? It's crazy. Like, they even send there's assassins looking out for them as well. The prince of one of the planets is looking for them as well. It's really, really a great book, fantastic book. So I can't wait to see how it ends. And obviously well, not obviously, but the story is told from the perspective of the child. So she's telling her parents' story as well, which is absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend Saga. Like, Saga is really, really good. Yeah. This month I also read Attack on Titan Volume 1, 2 and 3. Guys, I don't even want to start raving about Attack on Titan. I don't want to, because that's a whole nother 30-minute to an hour video, because I absolutely love Attack on Titan. I'm watching the anime. So obviously I can't wait during the weekly, I can't wait for the weekly episodes because I'm used to this Netflix binge culture that we have. So I was just like, I want to pick up the manga, so I've started from the beginning with the manga. So again, volume 1, 2 and 3, that's what I read, and I used Kindle Unlimited for that as well. So Kindle Unlimited has the first 8 volumes on there, which you can read pretty much very quickly. And Attack on Titan, I want to say, it's like the perfect story, as in the author, Hanjimi, I don't want to ruin his name, the creator of Attack on Titan, what can I say, like, the story is like fantastic, the world building is amazing, the character development is brilliant. Like, no one can convince me that this is not top tier storytelling. There is no story like it. Some people, I've read reviews, some people don't like the illustrations or stuff like that, some people don't like the story, but honestly I think Attack on Titan is a top tier story, and I haven't read a story as brilliant as it. So to summarize, essentially Attack on Titan is, we have this island called Paradise, and there's obviously there's people living on it, but they think that they are the last remnant of humanity. Humanity got wiped away by these giants. They look like human beings. Also these giant beings called Titans, and these Titans are also eating people. Okay, so Paradise is guarded by 3 walls, and so one on the outside, one in the middle, and then one on the inner to protect the royalty, the royal family. So one day the island is under attack, the walls are breached, a giant Titan comes in, kicks the wall down, and allows all the other Titans to come in, and Aaron sees his mum getting eaten right in front of him at age 10. Yeah, so from then on he makes this, he's like, do you know what? I'm going to kill every single Titan that exists, and that drives him. And we kind of just see the impact of that on on his friends, family. There's loads of plot twists, there's loads of, it's crazy, but it's absolutely fantastic. So I definitely recommend checking it out, or checking out the anime if you want to do that first, because that's how I went into it, and I think it's fantastic. The anime is very close to the manga as well, so you're not really missing out on much. But I just want to go back and really take my time with the story and look at the details and things that I've missed as well, because there's clues at the big, like, in the story, but you don't see it until later, and then everything starts adding up and you're just like, oh my gosh, what about this, what about that? It's brilliant, like, period, is brilliant. And then another book that I read, The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna, but I also did a review on that, so I'm not going to talk too much on that, but I gave that one a 5 out of 5. That book was brilliant. I'll link the review down below. And then the last book that I read was another manga, which I got on Kindle Unlimited as well, LDK Volume 1 by Ayu Watanabe. Gave that a 4 out of 5. I love drama, I love mess, I love a little romance. We have a young woman and a young man, again I forgot their names, which is ridiculous. So this young woman, her friend likes this guy, and asked him out, but the guy rejected her. So later it turns out that the guy is moving in, well, the guy is, this would be better if I remember their names, but I can't remember their names. I'm so sad. But yeah, okay, let me make it easier. Girl A has a friend, Girl B. Girl B likes guy A. Girl B asks guy A out, guy A rejects girl B. Girl A later finds out that guy A is moving in next door to girl A. Yeah? Girl A goes to his house to be like, hey, you're my new neighbor, like, welcome to the neighborhood, and she ruins his flat. Next thing you know, he has to move in with girl A. So guy A and girl A are now living together whilst his flat gets repaired or fixed. And yeah, so little romance starts happening, and she starts to feel guilty because obviously her best friend liked the guy, but the guy's now living in her house and she's trying to keep it a secret. Yeah, and I think they're gonna start to fall in love. So I'm reading like the series right now, and I absolutely love it. I really love it. It's a bit it's messy. Do you know what I mean? Like when I couldn't imagine moving in with a guy that my friend liked and then I fall in love with him. That's crazy. So I love it. But I love to see how romance blooms and develops, and yeah. So that's it. I think that was a ramble of books that I read in February, but yeah, a lot of different stories. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these. Are you interested in reading them? If you are an Attack on Titan stan, please, I need to find my peoples. Leave that in the comment too. Like, I absolutely love that series. But yeah, I'll be back with another video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.